Really surprised it was me. And I kept thinking, why is it me?
Gerran, nice
Good.
to meet you. Good, how are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Very good.
Welcome to Dial M for Movies. We are a film and TV podcast based in Toronto. My name is Kadija. This is my co-host Olivia, and it's such a pleasure to chat with you today.
Yeah, lovely to speak to you too. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
First off, just congratulations. The Pit is one of those rare shows that hits really hard and lingers, and Whitaker's journey has really struck a chord. First question is just, what's it like been watching that show explode in the way that it has?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's been a bit mad, hasn't it? I'm across the pond right now, so I don't think I'm getting the brunt of it. I know Supriya and a couple people are getting the brunt of it, so in a way, I'm kind of grateful to just be a bit of a distance away from it all. But yeah, it sounds like it's doing incredible from, and also from, I'm assuming, a lot of word of mouth, which is even cooler.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, seems to be doing well.
it really has. Whitaker's also become a fan favorite. Personally, gonna be honest, my favorite character.
Oh,
And people were very quick to empathize with him after his disastrous and very wet shift. Um, there's even this running joke of, well, if you think you're having a bad day, just know that Dennis Whitaker is probably having a worse one. But
yeah.
ultimately, he's such a fascinating character, very eager, very nervous, trying so hard to get it right. What were your initial thoughts when you read him on the page?
I was like, oh, it sounds like me. It sounds a lot like me. No, I mean, yeah, it was sort of pitched to me just as like a hospital procedural. But yeah, very quickly I saw a lot of similarities with Whitaker, and I very much sort of empathized with him immediately. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, he has everything thrown at him, and just is having the day from hell. So I knew it was going to be fun, if nothing else. Yeah.
I want to talk about Robby and Whitaker's relationship. It's one of the more important dynamics of the show. Robby being there for Whitaker after losing his first patient, episode 3, was such a touching moment. But also in the same episode, there was a scene between Dana and Robby where Robby asks her to keep an eye on Whitaker because he doesn't want to throw him off his game. And then Dana goes, "You think this kid has game?" And Robbie's like, "I'm not sure. I just want to give him a chance to find out." And even though he doesn't say it outright, it seems like he's really rooting for Whitaker. So what was it like building that relationship on screen with Noah Wyle?
He's the best. Like I'm sure you've heard from other people. Like he's the best. Like and he really does fill that mentor role sort of on screen and off screen. So it was really lovely. Like it was really nice. But it's not sort of all those lovely words he never says actually to Whitaker directly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it is, so that was kind of nice, like that he's still, he's kind of keeping him at arm's length. He's not sort of blowing smoke or anything. But yeah, it was such a treat, and it felt like a real mirroring of, Noah is a guy who's done this before. He's a kind of seasoned pro at this as an actor, as as a work as a doctor, like as a TV doctor. He's done this all before. Um, so it felt like there was a lot of mirroring there, with Whitaker and Robby and me and Noah. To be honest, it was really lovely, really nice.
And of course, episode 14, Robbie's breakdown in the makeshift morgue. Whitaker walks in, and honestly, I don't think there could have been a better person to have found Robbie in that moment. I'd love to hear your take on that scene. Why do you think Whitaker was the one person who could reach Robbie? And were you surprised that it was your character?
I was really surprised it was me, and I kept thinking, why is it me? Uh, why is it Whitaker? I think it's just there to highlight. I mean, if anyone is most likely to break down, it was probably going to be Whitaker. I think throughout all that. So I think it was lovely that, it was Whitaker who just came in and sort of, he didn't really even empathize with him, outwardly. He was just sort of very to the point, we really need you out there or things are going to go bad. And I think a lot of other people may have just skirted around that, but Whitaker is at he's at his edge here, and he's just like, we really need you. So yeah, it was a really nice moment there, and I'm glad it was Whitaker in the end.
Same.
But I'd love to see other, I don't know what Santos how that would have gone down.
Oh yeah, disastrous.
Poorly, I think. Yeah.
Do you think it would have?
I don't think she would be emotionally capable of
Yeah.
doing that in that moment.
Yeah, 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 you're right. Yeah.
Um, but also there was that moment where, Robbie does get up, but he shoves Whitaker away. Was that scripted or was that something that you and Noah came up with on the day?
Yeah, that wasn't scripted at all. Yeah, no, it was just I think and it's a great again to highlight like this isn't like a soppy moment. This is just, okay, cool. And I think Dr. Robby is kind of embarrassed a little bit, like, okay, great, you've got me up, but why did it have to be you? And I love that. I think it adds so much to it that it doesn't sort of devolve into a real sentimental moment, and it's like there's still a little bit of conflict there. But no, that was on the day. We kind of did two really quick sort of run throughs of it, and then uh, yeah, it all sort of fell into place. It was nice.
One of the more surprising reveals in the finale is that Whitaker is homeless and has been living in an unused wing of the hospital. But on a rewatch, there's so many little moments that build up to that. The stealing sandwiches, signing up for the street team, humanizing the Kraken. Can you talk about what that reality meant for Whitaker? And do you think his situation before Santos stepped in informed how he behaved as a doctor or the kind of care and awareness he brought to his work?
Yeah, I think I think I think it's a real a thing that really happens to med students. I think it's just there to highlight that. Oh, man, it's really not easy, especially when you're supposed to be in like a learning environment and you're supposed to feel kind of comfortable, and a lot of these med students are really struggling financially. So it was just one thing of many on top of everything else. To be like, wow, this guy is unhoused. But I think it really highlighted it was a really lovely point when he got to empathize with the Kraken over that. I think he was really struggling throughout the series to connect with people and was just mostly overwhelmed and sort of I think he made a bit of a decision to sort of see people very clinically at one point. But I think that was a real turning point where he saw a lot of himself in the Kraken. Um, and yeah, finally got to see him as a human, I guess, and was like, okay, I've got to dial this back a little bit and see see people as humans here.
That's amazing. Speaking of Santos, she did kind of adopt him at the end of episode 15, which I really liked. How do you think they would fare as roommates?
Oh my God, I have no idea. I think it's like it could be an absolute disaster, couldn't it? I mean, I, I've talked a lot about this. Like, I think they really do see each other a lot, though, in a really weird way. Like, I think Whittaker just sees that she's got a lot of walls up, like him, but in a very different way. And I think there's like a bit of like a sibling thing going on between them. So I think they could both help each other in a weird way, or they could absolutely despise each other. I think it's grounds for a spin-off at the very least.
For sure.
Do you know what I
Love
mean?
to see that. Yeah,
Yeah. But I'm really intrigued to see where that goes, for sure.
Same. I'm waiting for the spinoff.
Yeah.
HBO needs to get on that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure they'll have like a secret handshake as well. I think I'm already thinking about. I thought,
Oh yeah. You've worked on a number of really visually stunning period dramas as well. 1917, Young Dracula, Catch 22, Freedom's Path. They each have their own unique tone, historical context, physical demands. Apparently, you just have a face for the past. And period pieces often require a certain discipline, whether it's like adapting to a different cadence of speech, or something else. But now with the pit, you're stepping into something that's like very contemporary and emotionally urgent. Like, what has that shift been like for you as an actor? Has it been freeing sometimes to leave behind the constraints of period storytelling, or have there been new challenges in grounding yourself in a world that feels really immediate?
I think I was given a real gift, I think, with this. It is sort of very, I guess the word is clinical, and a lot of the time on screen, I think we forget that we are just going from case to case and sort of saving people's lives. And I think that was quite intimidating coming into it at first and going, how am I going to portray a character here when I've got all this medical jargon and we're just going from room to room here. But it ended up being a real sort of gift and personally, like really got me out of my head. I think when you are just going through the motions, it maybe doesn't seem like a character could really be revealed from that, but audiences aren't stupid, and I think just by the way people react to situations is sometimes enough. Um, you can really get a real good sort of view of a character through just how they do things. So for me, it got me out of my head completely because I think it would get to the end of a scene. I'd be like, what have I done? I don't know. I can't remember what I've just done for the last 5 minutes. But those are some of my favorite scenes on the pit, with the ones where I thought, what I don't know what I did there. That's going to be terrible. um, but were actually quite revealing in the end. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
love it. A lot of the work was done for me, which is great.
Yeah.
Finally, since our podcast is called a Dial M for Movies, we've got a fun segment we like to play called Movie Speed Dial. We'll give you a category and you can give us the first movie that comes to mind.
Okay.
Right.
Okay,
Hope you're a
cool.
movie person or else this is gonna go left.
I am a movie person to my detriment. Oh God.
Okay, that's good. Okay. A movie you could dial up when you need a good laugh.
A good laugh. God, it's hard finding a good comedy these days, isn't it? Oh, I
So
tell you
true.
what, I watched recently Game Night. Have you seen Game Night?
Oh my God,
So
Rachel McAdams?
good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
The first like the first like old school comedy I've watched in a while that I've been like, oh, this is comedy's back. Like
Yes.
it's so good. And
Yeah.
Jesse Plemons in that as the
Unreal.
neighbor.
Hilarious.
Isn't it? Oh, he's so good in it.
Yeah.
That casinos scene, I could just play it on repeat. It's
Yeah.
great.
It's also very
Yeah.
underrated, I feel like. Not
Oh,
a lot of
100%.
people like think of that.
Yeah, well, some of Rachel McAdams' lines in that are just insane.
Yeah.
Like, oh no,
Um,
he died. What is it?
Oh,
No.
yeah, yeah. He
Yeah.
died.
Oh no, yeah. Yeah, that's great. In recent memory, that's like a really good comedy.
No, that's
good
a good
call.
one, yeah.
A movie you dial up that's lesser known but a personal favorite.
Lesser known. It might be. I watched first Reformed again quite
Mm.
recently.
Ethan
Oh.
Hawke.
Which
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke,
Yeah.
yeah, Paul Schrader,
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah, yeah. I remember really being like, why aren't more people talking about this? I think it's really good. I really love Ethan Hawke. I think he's really
Phenomenal.
underrated. Like
Yeah.
Fantastic.
he's so smart as well in like any interview he does. He's like the most well-read man ever.
Yeah.
Guru.
Yeah.
I'm really gushing over Ethan Hawke here. But yeah, that was really good.
We'll
Like
give
it's
you the space and time to do so. We love him
Yeah.
too.
We should hold space for Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love that. It's a real slow build, and on paper it doesn't sound very exciting, but it's really well paced and it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. A movie you dial up that is a go-to film from your favorite director.
Favorite director. I think my favorite director is probably David Lynch. So I'll probably say um, Mulholland Drive. I think has a bit of everything.
We
Love
covered
it.
that
We
recently.
did.
A
It's
weird movie.
very strange.
Oh, it's insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think it is like a culmination of everything he's done. I think it's amazing. Yeah, I really love Lynch, and I think he's the only guy who does dream sequences well. I don't know.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think it's like him and the dream sequences from Sopranos. I think that's about it. Like,
Yes.
but I love. Yeah, I really like Mulholland Drive. I
That
couldn't
one
tell you what it's
transition.
about. Couldn't tell you a thing.
Oh, no. No, not at all. I
Yeah.
still don't know. There's that transition of the palm trees and Naomi Watts that is like so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And her parents when they're little and they're just like, I just
They're
thought,
Oh, that
like,
was
yeah, they
so
go into the cup.
freaky.
Yeah. So
else,
freaky.
yeah, what else? What other film could that possibly happen in? Like, it's crazy.
True.
A movie you dial up with a score or soundtrack that you could listen to on repeat.
Oh, score. I love a good film score. Um, First thing that comes to mind is uh, uh, Grizzly Bear with in Blue Valentine. I think they do the whole
Mm,
soundtrack, right? I think they do. But it's the end song. It's like my favorite end credit song ever with Blue Valentine, where Ryan Gosling is just walking towards the fireworks, and
yeah.
I
what's it
haven't seen.
called?
I need to see. It's on my watch list. But
Oh, it's really good. Yeah, Blue Valentine is crazy. Really sort of harrowing, especially if you're coming into a relationship. Like it's just like it puts most people off relationships.
got
It's
it.
great. It's great. I'm really selling it, but it's great.
Okay, I'll take your
Really good
warning.
soundtrack. Yeah, really
Yeah.
good soundtrack.
A movie you dial up that was released in the last year or two.
Last year or two. Um, what have I watched recently? The last thing I watched was Thunderbolts. That was
Work.
good. I enjoyed Thunderbolts.
I also
Um,
enjoyed Thunderbolts.
yeah, I think Florence Pugh and Lewis Pullman, amazing, fantastic. It's like totally their film, really
Yeah,
good.
obsessed with them
Um,
forever.
yeah, and Marvel's back. No, I don't
Question mark. We don't know yet.
Yeah,
know.
it's a
No.
apprehensive back,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
Lewis and Florence really brought it.
The best. Yeah, really good.
A movie you dial up when you need some inspiration.
Inspiration. Um, uh, a film that I really admire that I can't quite get my head around why I admire it is uh, Cure. Is it The Cure or Cure by uh, Akira Akira Kurosawa? I
Yeah,
think. Oh no, it's not. It's Kiyoshi Kurosawa. It's called The Cure or Cure. Have you seen it?
Have
no.
not, no.
God, it's incredible. It's like a murder mystery. It's kind of like Zodiac in Tokyo.
Oh,
About this, I can't ruin anything about it. It's about serial. It's got the most mad atmosphere to it that I can't like put my finger on. So, and I really want to know why it's so good, but I can't put my finger on it. So I guess that's inspiring.
hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the last one, a movie that's your all-time favorite and you'll stick by no matter what.
All time. Uh, that I can just watch over and over again, sort of thing.
I guess
Yeah,
whatever you feel drawn
whatever that
to.
means to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's between two. It's either got to be Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz. I think
So good. Cornetto
they're
trilogy, forever famous.
incredible. I think it would probably be Shaun of the Dead because I've watched Hot Fuzz so many times. I think I've watched it. I think I've worn myself out of it. So Shaun of the Dead is just like incredible. Like I remember watching when it first came out, like my favorite cinema experience ever. Just Edgar Wright just like kills it every time.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, Shaun of the Dead. I actually watched it at the Vista when I was filming the Pit. They did like a they did a 35 millimeter screening of it, which is like the last film you expect. Like a screening like that, and it was amazing. It was really good, and it was really cool to see how it's so British. It's like one of the most British films I've ever
It
seen.
It
is.
is
Like
so British.
so it is, but like Americans really loved it too. Like I was really surprised a lot of those jokes track. So I think that would be yeah, that would be the one. Shaun of the Dead.
So good.
Great pick. And what a wonderful note to end on.
Yeah,
It was so nice speaking to you, Garen. I am really excited for season two. Olivia's excited for season two, and
very excited for season
hopefully
two.
we get to talk to you about it then.
Yeah, would love that. I'd really love that.